Hi, welcome. Oh, let me get into my seat. Welcome. Hello. It's time for the Unitarian Universalist of Zurich online service for today. I am your lay-led service provider, or your host is what I prefer to call it, Susan Maud, and I am here to guide you through some philosophy with extras. Today's service will be mostly about atheism and the concept of religion and how I became an atheist. So, let us begin. The Unitarian Universalists are a welcoming religion where you can bring your philosophies and your religious ideas and share them with all of us so we can all learn and grow together and find out what's true. So, welcome. Normally we have a, they call it a chalice. And I actually have a chalice, as you see right here. It's not exactly the one that they have, but I happen to have one myself. But the question is, can I get the candle lit? So, anyway, here we go. Light is always good. It's about being enlightened. It's about truth, the symbolism of light. And that is what we will focus on, about what is truth for atheists. Let me see. Where did I do what? Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. That is by a Marjorie Montgomery from the Singing the Living Tradition book. Here, this is what it looks like. And that's number 452. And I'm going to read it again. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories and the mysteries of this great gift. And that is true. And so we lit the candle to show that we're in community, celebrating this great gift of life. And then I guess the next thing we'd like to do here is take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it, and then let it out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. I know a lot of us are smokers or ex-smokers, and breathing seems to be something that we deep breathing seems to be something we need to do when we want to really relax. And so I usually like to take some deep breaths. It helps. Okay, so now we're at the part where we talk about our joys and concerns. And I have a joy because I just returned from Switzerland, and I had a wonderful visit with family and friends and new friends and old friends, and anyway, it was really wonderful. So I had such a great time. Thank you all for being in my life. I appreciate it. Then I have a candle of concern because there are more mass shootings, and when you kill somebody, that's the end of their life, and they cannot go on, and you don't have that right to take their life. So let's have a moment of silence for all the people whose lives were cut short this past week, wherever they are, not only in the US, not only in Switzerland, but all over the world. Because the ceasefires are not holding. We hear every day of more killing and violence, regardless of what the leaders say and do. So we need to remember that life is a gift and it's precious, and we need to be careful with it. Be kind to it. And celebrate it, regardless of who we are. Okay, and then finally, this candle is for you, for your hope, your joy, your concern, or your sorrow. Okay, so I have a reading that I wasn't planning on reading, but I'm going to read it. I kind of like it. It is number 209 in the Singing the Living Tradition book from the Unitarian Universalist Association. It's in the part of worship, and it is, it's called O Come, You Longing Thirsty Souls. O come, you longing thirsty souls, drink freely from the spring. And come, you weary, famished folk, and end your hunger, your hungering. Why spend yourself on empty air? Why not be satisfied? For everywhere a feast is spread that's always at our side. For as the rain and snow above fall, not in vanity, but for the purpose, water the earth, to feed humanity, so shall the word of spirit, of life, serve as seed within our loam, that we may bear so rich a yield as brings the harvest home. For we shall go in peace, secure, and leave in joy sublime. The hills outside will burst with song. The trees will clap in time. No more shall thorns and nettles grow. The bay leaf tree and the pine shall sign for us the eternal light that makes the world shine. So these are words from Isaiah 55 with a slight interpretation from me in various places. It is actually in the singing part of the book, but I didn't sing it. So, yes. Feed humanity. Feed our souls with the seeds. That was interesting. So now, atheism. There are on the planet sort of two ways of thinking about the universe. And this is where atheism comes in. It's not even really Christian and atheists, or even Muslim and atheists, or even Buddhists and atheists, or Judaism and atheists. It's a belief in a higher being and a belief in no higher being. And let me get the real definition that I found. So, atheist belief does not believe in God or gods. Agnostic, so it's really actually between atheist and agnostic. Belief is neither believes nor disbelieves in a god or gods, or believes that the existence of a god is unknowable. So actually, though, that's not 100% sure. Or is that? Is that agnostic is that they don't know? So then there's three choices. I know that there's nothing, I don't know if there's anything, and then there's the firm belief that there's something, a deity. So according to more on agnostic, it focuses on the lack of certainty. And agnostic feels that it is not possible to definitively prove or disprove the existence of God. Someone who says, I don't know if a God exists, and I don't think anyone can know that for sure. Then, let me go back. The core belief in atheism is a focus on the lack of belief. An atheist does not believe theistic claims without sufficient evidence. Someone who actively disbelieves the existence of gods. So I guess that's really what we're talking about. There's like this certainty that there is nothing that created the universe and everything in it. And then there is the certainty of not knowing and leaning towards something created the universe. So here's a little thing from Merriam-Webster dictionary. So that first part was from the AI part of Google. Then we have Merriam-Webster, which is how agnostic differ from atheist, is what I collected here. Atheist and agnostic appear in the same context, but are distinct in meaning. Atheists refer to someone who does not believe in the existence of a god or any gods. Agnostic has two relevant meanings. It can refer to someone who holds the view that any ultimate reality, such as a god, is unknown and probably unknowable, or it can refer to someone who is not committed to believing in either the existence or non-existence of a god. Agnostic first appeared in 1869. And the meaning from Greek is unknown, unknowable. Atheist came to English from the French atheism, although both words share the a meaning without, the main body of each word is quite different. An atheist shares the root theo, meaning God, so it means not God or no God. Then an atheist is a person, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a person who does not believe in the existence of God or any gods, one who subscribes to or advocates atheism. Then I went further and looked into something called freethinkers, a person who forms opinion about religion on the basis of reason, independent of tradition, authority, or established belief. Freethinkers include atheists, agnostics, and rationalists. Rationalist is a new one for me. No one can be a freethinker who demands conformity to a Bible, creed, or Messiah. To the freethinker, revelation and faith are invalid, and orthodoxy is no guarantee of truth. Then there's skeptic. a person inclined to question or doubt accepted opinions. And ancient or modern philosopher who denies the possibility of knowledge or even rational belief in some sphere. Okay. So, core principles. Oh, what did I? Who can be a free thinker? A person does not have to be an atheist to be a free thinker. It is possible for some of the various religious backgrounds to be free thinkers if they apply independent reasoning to their faith and life. Early free thinkers in America included a wide range of people who changed traditional orthodoxies in various fields, including science, politics, and arts. Then core principles of being a free thinker is reason and logic. Free thinkers use reason, scientific inquiry, and logic to form beliefs and opinions. Skepticism. They are skeptical of religious dogma and authority, rejecting external revelations and supernatural claims like miracles or prophecies. Individual autonomy. They believe individuals have the right to free speculation and to determine their own destiny and morality, often based on human experience and the needs rather than divine authority. Open-mindedness. They tend to be open to new ideas and concepts and respect critical thinking. And common association is atheism and agnosticism. Many historical and modern free thinkers are atheists or agnostic who reject the existence of God or see it as unprovable. Secular humanism is free thinking often aligns with humanism, which is based on morality, on human welfare and reason, and liberal ideas. Throughout history, free thinking has often been associated with liberal causes such as social, political equality, and separation of church and state, and abolitionism. So, there. And then, lately there's a organization called the Brights. They are people with a naturalist worldview, free from supernatural and mystical elements. And the Brights' ethics and actions are based on naturalistic worldview. The Brights aspire to egalitarian civic vision. We want citizens who have a naturalistic worldview to be accepted as full participants of civil society. And then they break down things to 3 different variations. There's people who are the super. These are people whose worldview includes supernatural or mystical elements. Then there is the bright with a small b, is a person whose worldview is naturalistic, no supernatural or mystical elements. And a bright with the big B is a bright who has registered at this website in support of egalitarian civic vision of the Brights movement. Currently, the naturalistic worldview is sufficiently expressed within most cultures, even politically and socially repressed. Insufficiently. To be a bright is to participate in a movement to address this situation. So that's the brights. And for me, I'm a Unitarian Universalist because I find as an atheist, I still like to get together with good ideas and be refreshed with new things to think about for the coming week or coming month, depending on how often a service is given. And I enjoy the different rituals. It's a way for me to slow down and take a moment to breathe and think rather than just go, 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 or be in one way of thinking. And religion should be uplifting. And I know a lot of people out there, especially a lot of atheists, don't like religions, and they use the word religion meaning people who must believe in a god. But religion is much more than believing in a higher being. And religion can just be a community of people getting together to celebrate life's joys and sorrows and highlights of life. So I believe that to say that all religion is bad is wrong, because, for example, Unitarian Universalism leaves a place for the atheist to come and enjoy ritual, to come and enjoy the milestones of life together with others. And there are various other organizations doing the same thing. But this is one that I find is quite good. I was raised Catholic, so, I was raised with weekly going to rituals, and even sometimes during the week rituals. And so after becoming atheist, after finally, analyzing all the information I had been given over the years and searching for logic and reason in it, I finally came to the conclusion that there is no greater being. No one being created the universe and all the things in it. And I guess the biggest break was not only that, but also that there's no afterlife. And for some reason, this is hard for a lot of people who are believing in gods. They seem to insist that there's something going to happen after we die. And again, we have no proof that anything happens after we die, except that we die. And if something does happen after we die, then it will happen anyways. So why should I dwell on what's going to happen later when there's nothing I can do about it anyways? I should dwell on what's happening here and now. So I don't think, when I look at animals that die, I don't think that they have spirits that go out and go to heaven or hell or whatever, and nor do I believe that humans have that capability. I don't think that's at all the case. And I spent some of my youth trying to figure it out. I was about 27 when I really decided, hey, no, there is no God, and why am I looking for a God? I somehow felt I needed a God between when I left Catholicism and was searching for my truth in life and what motivates us. And Yeah, and I was fine with that, and I've been fine with that. The more recent things that I've discovered over like the last 10 years is that truthfully we are, due to our choices of what we think is good and bad, or what kind of corn we like, or what kind of a golden retriever we like, or what kind of, you know, even vehicles we like. These are all decisions that will change the world around us. Some with greater effect and some with lesser effect. So if we're a breeder of a dog and we choose a golden retriever that's very dark, then that golden will be, or the babies that will come from that dog will most likely be darker than they will be lighter. So they will be affecting the breed's color and quite possibly other features, you know, if they have a rounder face or a pointier face. So this is how evolution works. And, you know, we can look at pictures from certain animals from 100 years ago to how they look today in the same region. And we can see the effects of the choices that we make on a daily basis. So even how we build houses makes a difference, and how we use chemicals and all sorts of things. So we are the hand of evolution with the choices we make as we live life. And my only thing is, or that I can say, is go to the good. Always go to the correct side, be on the good side, as much as possible. I mean, we all make decisions sometimes that are not the best, but as much as possible, go to the good. And then humanity and the world will also evolve that way. Now, evolution is not a belief in God. It is not a belief in anything mystical, because we see it happening in front of our eyes. It is a true fact. Evolution does occur. And that's something I've realized. And then the other thing is, ever since I was a teenager, I had this one phrase, this one quote that I always turned to when I was having issues, from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's the one where it starts, to laugh often and much. And this is very much a atheist belief. You know, let me see if I can find it so I can read it to you again. I know I just read it last time, and it's not in my book here, but I might have it. Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't going to read it, but I'm going to read it. And it goes like this. To laugh often and much. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty. To find the best in others. To leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded, or this is also the meaning of life. So to leave the world better. And this phrase I've been dwelling on, and that's how I eventually came to the conclusion about evolution, that we are seeing it on a regular basis, but not fully recognizing that we're seeing it. And, we all have a certain amount of time on the planet to do what we're going to do. And then it goes from there. So, whatever you believe, it's true for you. And in Unitarian Universalism, they also have like a list of what you're supposed to follow, the principles. Of course, sometimes it's hard to follow them perfectly, but one of them is to search for what is true. And that is extremely important, because you have to live in your own mind, and if you're believing things that you yourself don't believe are true, then it might be time to change your thinking. But, truth matters. So on that note, I think I expressed my concept of atheism, which is just living life for today and for now and for here, as best I can at any given moment. And for me there's nobody watching, there's nobody. I am my own moral compass, and doing the best I can wherever I am. And I guess this is probably the main reason I'm going to do a reading from the Unitarian Universalist book, number 558, For Everything a Season. And it's actually, I think it's from the Bible, but it's perfectly sums up the point that even people who don't believe in a higher being we all go through different seasons in our lives, and things happen. And so we look for community and for ritual to mark these events that do happen. So it goes, for everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to seek and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. And it would be nice to have peace. And it's from a word I'm going to probably mispronounce quite badly, but I'll do my best. Ecclesiasts, I don't know, number 3. So, yeah, that's what at least this atheist wants when I look for community in a religion. I look for a place to celebrate life's moments or sorrows. Then for sorrows, we're not necessarily celebrating, but a place for community and friendship. Because often as an atheist, I get asked why. So that is the why. All right. Then I'm going to move on to the final part of the service today. I have an affirmation that I want to do with you. It's my favorite one. It's the one that got me when I first got my Singing the Living Tradition book, and I devoured it in a weekend. It had so much good ideas and good positive thinking. And it goes like this. It's number 457 by Edward Everett Hale, and it's called I Am Only One. And so I'm going to say each line, and then I want you to repeat after me, because I don't want to be the only one doing things. I want you to join me and do things. I am only one. But still, I am one. I cannot do everything, but still, I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. Okay, so that is the end of the service. And now I'm going to extinguish the chalice. I'm going to put the flame out. And it there's a reading by Elizabeth Selly Jones, number 456. And it is called Extinguishing the Chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. The warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. So. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you peace in your world. Bye for now.